Hey everybody, it's your favorite friend and fiend, Kenneth Ramon, back here again. Just got done watching Happy Gilmore 2. And this was one of my most anticipated movies of this year, you guys. And I say that because I grew up watching the movie as a kid. I had the VHS tape and I would have it on repeat actually. Like my VCR was done playing the movie and then it would like rewind and then play it again. I had one of those cool like state-of-the-art VHS players that not everybody had, but I was cool like that, right? And this is like one of those examples of where I felt like maybe we shouldn't get a second one. Like, why are we making a second one? Why try to rekindle that magic? And with comedies especially, because I was like so, I don't want to say bummed out. There was things I enjoyed about it, but for the most part, Dumb and Dumber 2, alright, is like one of those movies that I never really went back to. Okay, it was a good time watching it and seeing Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels come back, these many years later, but it just didn't have that magic like the first one did when I was a kid. But, like, there's other examples, like Top Gun Maverick, where it worked. Top Gun movie made 30 years later, a sequel we finally get, and it was actually really, really good. So I was really kind of interested in seeing how this movie would play out. As you guys know, I don't watch trailers because sometimes they give a little too much away, and it kind of takes away from my experience. But we'll say not even 10 minutes into this movie, we get a twist that comes like straight up out of the blue. I'm like, what? What did I just watch? Okay. I mean, like literally has you in for a ride. You're like, yes, okay. And then, whoa, what just happened here? And it's kind of in the same spirit as the original. Like, where like all of a sudden Chubbs dies. Like nobody expected that in the original movie. He falls and in the most comedic way ever, like the most stupid way ever. He falls, out of a window because Happy presents himself with the alligator that took his hand, right? Falls, okay? So we get that type of humor in part 2 as well. And it doesn't stop. And that's what I loved. Like it has that same charm as what I loved about the original. This movie has that same charm, and it's also appropriate with, what's happened in 30 years. A lot's happened in 30 years, and you expect that character of Happy Gilmore to kind of develop, with that time. There's a lot of character development here. He's not the same guy as he was 30 years ago because a lot has happened in between in his life. And I feel like this movie really handled it very well. I've been no stranger to tell you guys my thoughts on Adam Sandler. As he's progressed and he's kept making movies, I stopped watching them because I felt like he was trying to rekindle the olden days of Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, right? But, this guy's in his 40s, going on to his 50s, and it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel the same, There's got to be, like, some sort of, like, development in this guy's, acting in general. And I've always appreciated Adam Sandler for his more dramatic roles, like Punch Drunk Love, and Reign Over Me is my favorite, right? And Uncut Gems. So I will say I have to applaud him. He did an excellent job in kind of like bringing that dramatic element to this movie and keeping that goofiness. So it was like what you would have expected from Happy Gilmore 30 years later, having like lost a lot in his life and, dealing with grief. There's a lot of that where you kind of like connect with his character, but then again, you also have that escape and like all the laughs and silliness in this movie as well. And this movie is funny. I will say, what I loved about Adam Sandler movies growing up is still here, and then I got more, like as an adult, wanting like, more from Adam Sandler as he's gotten older, and I wanted to see his acting kind of blossom and develop. I've gotten to see a little bit of that here too, where it's still funny too. It's not like super, super dramatic and, and this movie definitely has those moments, where like, tears will come down my eyes, a lot of heartwarming, especially the ending. Once you guys see this movie, I mean, seriously, come back. Let me know, comment on this video. Let me know if you cried at the end of this movie, because it definitely has that feel. But, that being said, this movie doesn't forget where it came from. It came from laughs and, silliness and goofiness, which you would expect from an Adam Sandler movie. The only issue I have with it really is like come the second to third act, it has a more serious tone, whereas the first half of the movie is pure silliness and goofiness, and then it's just not as exciting as the first half. But I feel like that's in general for most of these sports movies, including like Bad News Bears and Caddyshack. And oh, speaking of Caddyshack, guys, let me know if you guys caught the Caddyshack reference in this movie. In the original, Happy Gilmore, he like kind of like throws reference to the original Caddyshack, but here I was like, oh my god, that is so Caddyshack. But I bet you nobody caught it except for me. But yeah, let me know. But that being said, there's also a subplot as well in this movie with like the company rivals that are after Happy Gilmore, and Shooter McGavin too, where it kind of feels like just thrown into the movie, kind of takes away from the movie's tone. I will say a little bit, just a little bit. But come the end of this movie, I was really excited with the result, and yeah, I'm really happy with it, and I highly recommend that you guys check it out. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. I feel like it's definitely worth the watch. Anyways, you guys, that is my quick review. Let me know what you guys thought of this movie if you saw it. If you like this review, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Really do appreciate all the support. Also, let me know if you guys got in on that Subway deal. They got a Subway meal going on right now, and for limited time, you could also get this awesome like Happy Gilmore. They have like 4 cups, like 4 collectible cups. I got one. That was the last one there was, but I got the Ben Stiller character, which I think is actually pretty cool. I always remember cracking up when I saw the original. But anyways, you guys, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Kenneth Ramon, signing off. Bang.